Good morning, AJ. How's it going?
Morning, feeling fresh.
Good.
I got a new tee.
Nice.
I drank a few cups last night, and I was up till 2.
Oh, no. Good morning, Jende.
Good morning.
That was an unexpected extra week. Did you like it?
Yes.
Yeah. Some of us needed it, maybe. Some of us were annoyed by it. I don't know.
I helped put together the new couch.
Oh, nice. Oh, I like it.
Where
I
is
love that color. What'd you say, Jende?
Where is everyone?
Yeah, good question. That's what I'd like to know. I'm hoping they're going to be here in just a couple minutes.
They'll probably just jump in at 9.
Right. So did you get to do anything while you were off?
No, I stayed home.
Yeah. I'm going to let my cats out. All right, well, I'll put a doc in the chat with the warm up on it so you guys can start that while we wait for everyone. And you can just write it on paper if you want, I don't care. And we'll do a mindfulness activity once more people arrive. All right, welcome. Oh, look, everybody's here now. Malachi, Amanda, Angelina, and Aaron. Good morning, everyone. Welcome back. I just put a doc in the chat for you while we're waiting for, I think we just have a couple more people coming. You can start on that if you want, just the warm-up problems. I hope you enjoyed your extra week. That was craziness. We'll talk more about that after we get everybody here. Why is my video not on? That was weird. I don't know how my video got turned off. Weird. Strange. All right, so I think we're just missing Valerie and Olivia. So hopefully they get in and then we're all back. All right, anybody have questions for me while we're just waiting for a couple minutes or you're getting the doc ready or anything? You guys obviously figured out how to get back in, right? Your Canvas is up and running. Can you guys hear me? Am I talking to myself? Okay, because literally blank stares is what I was getting. Thanks, Ashley. All right, let's do our Mindfulness Monday first, and then we will get really back into our probability. Oops, hold on. It's going to be one of those days, let me tell you. I don't know how. All right, enough of that.
Hey there, it's Sid from Roots Holistic, and today's Mindful Monday. And so I wanted to carve some time out to share with you all a mindfulness tip. Today's mindfulness tip is going to center around the practice of gratitude. For me personally, if I'm feeling anxious or worried or stressed, if I'm able to take a moment out to just find a few things that I'm grateful for, it really helps with cultivating presence, grounding me back into the here and now. So I wanted to share that with you all. We'll begin just by finding a comfortable seated position, softening the shoulders away from the ears. Maybe you gently close the eyes. And find your breath, simply by noticing each time you inhale and each time you exhale. And then we'll bring our awareness to the hands, slowly closing the hands into fists. All right? And so our gratitude practice is going to be naming something that we're grateful for. And then each time you name something you're grateful for, slowly releasing a finger. All right? So we'll find 10 things at the end that you're grateful for. Okay? You can begin now. Maybe you close your eyes again, finding the breath. And then every time you name something that you're grateful for, releasing a finger. Taking your time. And as you near your 10th thing that you're grateful for, begin to notice the sensation of your open palms. Feeling a lightness that gratitude brings into your life. We'll take another full breath together. Thank you so much for joining me on Mindful Monday. I hope you found this tip helpful, and I look forward to seeing you next week. Until then, be well.
All right, that was a quick one, but it's a real good one in case, I hope you could hear and see that. Nobody was telling me you couldn't, so, oops, hold on. I don't think you can hear that music, but I sure can. All right, so questions on anything before we jump back into probability? Because, by the way, you have a quiz on Thursday. Maybe that'll spark some questions. Nothing? Wow, you guys okay? I'm a little worried. All right. Oh yeah, it's okay if you're still working on that warm up. No worries about that. But I just wondered if you had any questions about, did you read the updates where our semester is now extended by a week? Yeah. I haven't heard from any of you that that's going to be a problem. So just checking. And all your classes, basically each class could be different. So you might have some classes that extend by a week, and you might have some classes that do not extend by a week. And your teacher might not even know at this point, right? Because getting back today, some classes start today, but also some people might, some teachers might still have to see how their students recovered from the extra week, right? Like, when were they able to access their information and those kinds of things. So, okay, I put that doc in the chat again in case you didn't get it. I'm going to, so welcome back. I hope you guys all got in without big trauma. Did anyone have to use the online help to get back in to Canvas? It just worked fairly easily for you? Excellent, good. And I hope you wrote down that password somewhere because it was super long, right? And I don't know about you guys, but sometimes it was like, oh, you don't meet the criteria. And you're like, are you kidding me right now? Right? My kids had to reset theirs. Yeah, everybody had to reset their passwords without exception. Nobody was immune from that. Everyone had to do that. All right. So in regards to us extending the semester, I'm going to see how this week goes, and we're going to decide. We will probably be able to finish that last week when we were supposed to. We probably will not have to extend, but I have this week still to see how things play out and to plan the rest of our lessons, because basically that last week, what I had planned was your final presentations. So if we can fit our final presentations in, then we'll be good to go. So any questions on that? All right, so your warm-up question was find the expected value of a game of rock, paper, scissors. Hopefully you guys know that game, right? If you don't know that game, it might be a little bit harder. If you win, the other player pays you $3. If you lose, you pay the other player $3. And if you tie, you lose $1. And then it said, show all your work. So how many of you have an answer to this one already? Anybody have an answer? Were you still setting up your table? Do you remember those tables that we set up? Maybe. Maybe not. Because I set up a table. And what were your 3 outcomes if you were setting up a table?
Win, loss, tie.
Very nice. Good job, Aaron. So that's what I did is I set it. Did anyone else set up a table? No. Okay. AJ did. So I had win, lose, tie. And then you had what happened. So you had your outcome, then you had your probability, and then you had your outcome times your probability. All right, so what was the outcome if I win? Malachi, what happens if I win?
You get $3.
Very nice. So I'm going to put $3 in there. Amanda, what about if I lose?
You lose $3.
Yeah, so I'm going to put a negative $3 in there. And Ashley, how about if I tie?
You lose $1.
Yeah, you lose $1. And then what do you think for the probability of win, lose, or tie in rock, paper, scissors? Anyone have an idea?
1/3 chance.
Yeah, there's a 1/3 chance you're going to win. There's a 1/3 chance you're going to lose. And there's a 1/3 chance you're going to tie. Any questions about where those came from? You okay? Because there's like 9 outcomes, but 3 of those outcomes you win, 3 of those outcomes you lose, and 3 of those outcomes you tie. So 3 over 9 simplifies to 1 over 3. So then on this column, you just multiply those. So $3 times 1/3. Now you have to be careful because you don't want to round anything until the very end, right? Oops, negative $1 times 1/3. And then remember, for the expected value, you sum all those. So when I multiply 3 times 1/3, I get $1. When I multiply negative 3 times 1/3, I get negative $1. And when I multiply negative 1 times 1/3, I get negative 1/3. Now, when I add those up, I get $1 plus negative $1 plus negative 1/3, which that's going to be, if I round to the nearest cent, what did you guys get for an answer?
Negative 34 cents.
So I just put 33 cents because the next digit was still a 3. So I just rounded down to 33 cents. How many of you got that same thing? 33 cents, negative 33 cents. Yeah, excellent. So does this seem familiar? Right? Now, we would say it's a fair game with an expected value of 0 if we just had, if nothing happened when we tied, right? So if we just said nothing happens when we tie, we don't get money, we don't lose money, then our expected value would be 0, right? Okay, any questions on that? All right. So today we're going to talk about independent events. The nice thing about independent events is you already kind of know how to do them, okay? Independent events means the probability of each event doesn't affect the other one. So the outcome of one event does not affect the outcome of the other event. And how we calculate those, if they're independent, we just multiply those probabilities together. Okay, so that's what this formula says right here. The probability of A and B is the probability of A times the probability of B. So let's look at an example. A single 6-sided die is rolled twice. So remember, in the beginning, we just rolled it 1 time. So now we're just going to have multiple events. it says, what's the probability of showing a 2 on the first roll and an odd number on the second roll? Okay. So first of all, you have to decide, are these independent events? So does it matter what I got on my first roll? Is it going to change what I get on my second roll?
No.
Yeah, no, it's not going to matter, right? So those are independent events. So to figure out the probability that it's a 2 and then the second one is an odd, we're going to find the probability of a 2 and we're going to multiply that times the probability of an odd. So the probability of a 2, well, there's only 1 out of 6 numbers that are 2s. And then the probability of an odd is there's 3 out of 6 numbers. So when I multiply those together, remember when you multiply fractions, you just multiply straight across. So you get 3 out of 36, which would simplify into 1 out of 12. Now, I could write that down as a fraction like I just did, or I could write it down as a decimal, or I could write it as a percent. If I do it as a decimal, if you use Desmos, right? 1 divided by 12 is going to be 0.8. Wait, it's 0.8. 0.8333, and it keeps on going. So if I was going to round to 4 decimal places, I would say 0.0833, and a percent would be 8.3% if I'm rounding to 1 decimal place. Everybody okay with that? Makes sense. Excellent. So a couple has 3 children. What's the probability that all 3 are girls? Well, that's given that the probability is 1/2 that it's a boy and 1/2 that it's a girl. Okay, so try this one for a minute. And now notice that we're doing it 3 times. So, and by the way, are these independent events? Whoops, are these independent events? Does it matter what you had first as to what you're going to have next? No, so these are independent events. Okay, so try that for a second.
What's you laying right there? I was like that area. All right, anyone have an idea how to do this one? Yes, that's 33%.
I think you have to have a probability for girls is like a half. So the probability of girls and 3 girls. So there'll be like 3 halves. I hope I'm doing that right. My heart's beating so fast.
Yeah, so you're going to multiply all 3 of those together, right?
Yeah.
So, because you're going to do the probability of a girl, probability of a girl, probability of a girl. And so what'd you get?
1/8. That's why I was using my calculator because
Very nice.
I never did a half times a half.
Yeah, so 1/8, which is the same as 12.5%. Everybody okay with that? All right. I think more of these are just the same. I'm going to put you in breakout rooms and come in and check on you to finish this worksheet. And let me know if you have any questions. It seems like you guys are a little sleepy. Maybe it's like the first day all over again. We're forgetting if everybody knows everybody. Like you do know each other, by the way. We've been in class 8 weeks together already. So, and some of you were like, yeah, I feel like we were done. Right? Did anyone else feel that? You were like, wait, 2 weeks off and now I have to go back? Are you kidding me? Yeah. That spring break's hard enough, but then having an extra week, hopefully it rejuvenated you. Okay. So, hi, Olivia, you made it. I'm going to put our document in the chat again, just in case you didn't get it. I'm going to put you guys in breakout rooms right now to work on that. Olivia, you can get up to speed on this pretty quickly, and I'll come to your breakout room first. So if you need any help, okay?
Okay, thank you. Sorry.
No, no worries. I'm glad that you got in fairly quickly. So, okay. All right. Okay, so I'm going to open your rooms and I'll come visit you guys. So work on this. Let me know if you have any questions. You can always ask for help. All right, about 20 more seconds and everyone will be back and we'll go over these. If you weren't quite done, it's okay. You know, no worries. All right. Hello, hello. You all made it back. Yay. See, our first day, success, right? I feel like it's our first day all over again. Let's go over some of these. If you didn't get finished, it's okay. But just let's see how far you got. So these board work problems, a single six-sided die is rolled 3 times. What's the probability of showing an even number on all 3 rolls? And then a die is rolled twice. What's the probability of showing a 5 on the first roll and an even number on the second roll? I'm going to show you the answers. You tell me if that's what you got. Did you get 1/8 or 0.125 or 12.5% for the first one? And then for the second one, did you get 1/12 or 0.83 repeating or 8.3%? Any questions on those two? Yay, I saw a party hat. Thanks, Valerie. Everybody okay with that? No worries on those. Okay. This one might have gotten a little bit more confusing when we have socks and t-shirts, right? So socks and t-shirts in a drawer, we had to multiply these 2 things together. Anyone tell me what they got for an answer? It's okay if you're wrong. What did you guys get for an answer on this one?
8/65.
8 over, I think it was 55, wasn't it, Valerie?
Oh, sorry. Yeah.
That's what I got.
Yeah, 8 over 55 and or 14.5%. How many of you got that? Anyone? Any questions on that one, or do you need help with that one? Ask now. Okay, so this is how I did it. 4/5 because 4 out of the 5 pairs of socks were white times 2 out of 11 because 2 of the t-shirts out of the 11 t-shirts were white. So if I multiply straight across, I just get 8/55, or as a decimal, I get 0.145. And then as a percent, 14.5%. Questions on that one, you okay? How many of you got it right? A couple of you did. If you got it wrong, do you have questions on where you went wrong? All right. Now, this one was a little bit different and it might have thrown you off. And that's why I picked it, because sometimes when you do your more assignments, they change it up on you, right? They give you a different type of problem. So on this one, it said 21% of people own dogs. If you pick 2 people at random, what's the probability they both own a dog? So this time you didn't have to calculate the probability, like count how many favorable outcomes over the total number of outcomes, because they gave you the probability already. Okay, so when they say that 21%, you can use that as 21/100, or you can use it as a decimal, 0.21. And each person is 0.21, right? The probability that they own a dog. So when you multiply those two together, did you get 441/10,000 or 4.41%? Any questions on that one? Yay. Okay, now, by the way, do you guys know who Bert and Ernie are? I'm just wondering. They're from Sesame Street. It's one of my favorite shows of all time. It was a great show. It was one of the only shows my mom let me watch. I was allowed to watch that and Lassie. Yeah, I'm old enough to watch Lassie. Actually, it was on when I came home from kindergarten, and I wasn't allowed to watch Lassie, but I was allowed to lay on the couch and face away from Lassie and listen to Lassie because my mom wanted me to take a nap. How random is that, right? Yeah, it's true. And then I would pretend to fall asleep, and then her soap operas would come on. And I would listen to the soap operas. Yeah, she didn't know that. It's true. While she was folding laundry and things like that. Super fun. Okay, so here's the part of this that I think a lot of you might have skipped. First of all, you might have forgotten what a deck of cards looked like. Okay, so I put that in the chat. Does anybody need that probability formula sheet again? Okay, so, but remember, you'll have access to that on the quiz, right? So you can use that for your deck of cards. And then the other thing people don't look at is, you know, it's at a 12-sided die. I've had at least 2 groups go, oops, just kidding. I skipped that 12-sided part and just used that it was a dice. So make sure, again, it's reading carefully. That's hard. Okay, so when you're doing these problems, you just have to look at each part. These are independent events because what I get in my card has nothing to do with what I'm going to roll on the dice. Right? So how many of you finished all of these? Did any of you finish all of them? Okay, about half of you maybe. Let's look at this first one. So a jack, so the probability of a jack, there are 4 jacks in the deck out of 52 cards. Okay, and I could simplify that if I wanted to. And I would get 1/13. And the probability of a 5, well, instead of 1 out of 6, like a regular dice, it would be 1 out of 12, right? Because it's a 12-sided die. So if I multiplied these two together, 1/13 times 1/12, I would get 1 out of 156, which would be 0.6%. How many of you got that? Yay, 1 person. Oh, wait, I see 2. Hooray. Okay, I see 3. Questions on that? For those of you that didn't get there or who are stuck. So I think these problems are just a matter of carefully reading. Am I correct? Yeah. So when it says Bert gets a heart. So there's 13 hearts out of 52, which would simplify to 1/4. And Ernie rolls a number less than 6. So the probability that it's less than 6 is 5/12. So then if I multiply those two together, I'm going to get 5 out of 48, which is 10.4%. How many of you got that? Yay, a few of you. Excellent. Now, some of you are not responding. I'm not sure what that means. If that means you're super confused, if you didn't get that far, or you're just ignoring me. Either way, I don't know. But just be careful, because if I don't know if you understand it, I'm just going to guess you do, and I'm going to keep moving on, right? Okay. Yeah, I'm glad if you're listening. Just make sure that if you have a question, you ask, because there are people who have questions that I'm sure are not asking. Okay, so I'm going to stop there. If you review my slides, which I'll post right after class, I have all the answers right here, right? They're all there for you. So if you want to check all your answers, you totally can. This isn't something you have to turn in. This is just going to help you with things. So we should have already finished this a long time ago, right? I don't know why that's on there. Did anyone not finish PC3 practice? That was expected value. Okay, so you don't have to worry about that. But the mini lesson I opened until tonight. Okay, so let me make sure on that. The mini lesson I opened till tonight because that mini lesson can be hard. So yeah, that's open till tonight because we're still just doing PC4 tomorrow. The practice for PC4 is due tomorrow night. Okay, so you can start on this. This one's due tonight for sure, but this one you can just start on it. Okay, now let me see if I can. I'm going to share your exit ticket, but I do want to talk about your quiz because I changed it a little bit. Because I don't want to take up a whole class period to have you guys take a quiz. So we're going to do PC4 today, tomorrow, and Wednesday. Then on Thursday, we're going to review in class, okay? At noon on Wednesday, I can actually change it so it's right after class if you want. The quiz is going to open for all of you. It's via Respondus Lockdown Browser again, okay? But you're going to have to, from Thursday at noon till Friday at midnight to take that. You can take it anytime outside of class. Since it records you anyway, right? You don't need to be in class to do that. Okay, so that might help you guys. Some of you will have a little more study time. Some of you are like, ooh, I'll do it Friday, right? So that's totally fine. But it's nice that it'll be done before the weekend. Yeah, so you don't have to worry about it over the weekend. Then you'll just have a mini lesson for PC5. Okay, so that's how we'll handle that. Now, I do have, I don't know if I can pull it up on here. Let me see if I can. I do have your review already up. So if you're in modules, can you still see my screen? Okay, good. Okay, it's not going to load because it's just spinning, spinning, spinning. But I have the, here we go. I have the probability review already up there. It's not due till Thursday, but if you look at it, it's going to really help you because some of you are like, holy cow, it's been a long time since we've done anything. So notice that I have it labeled. This is PC1. And so you find all these probabilities and odds. Then on number 2, we're going to keep finding things. Then on 3, it's expected value. So there's only one expected value question on the test. And then PC4 is right there, okay? So you really only have questions 1 through 6 for your review. And remember, don't my reviews look very similar to the quiz? Yeah. So it's going to look very similar to this. So if you wanted to start on your review today, you have that option, especially if it's going to help you remember like PC 1, 2, and 3, because we did those before break. Okay. So that's already up there. Okay. All right. So let me go back here. I'll put your exit ticket in the chat. It's just one brief question. Thank you guys for all being prepared and here today. It was very helpful. Okay, it was nice for us to get back on track. I know we're a little rusty because it's been a while, but you'll get back into it. Also notice that I still have office hours. So if you need help, just come see me for office hours, or if you need that tutoring, right? Because we still have tutoring. All right, so there's your exit ticket. Whenever you're done, you can head out and I'll see you tomorrow. Great job today.